Good evening, everyone. System Chalk here with what should be the 37th episode of Cultist Simulator, doing our Librarian run as the detective, Ivan Vucetic. Now, it's been a while since I recorded some episodes. It just turned out a little bit differently than what I was planning, and so I've sort of forgotten where I am on the playthrough, but I do want to jump in as quickly as I can because I know a lot of this is going to be a matter of collection. There are a couple of things that I remember from before, though. So it occurred to me that I do have the potential to get another bit of lore if I read the Geminiad. And the problem here is that it's if you've seen text, which means that if I read the Journal of Alessandro Lacrosse, I can't get that back. Now there may be another copy of this somewhere, and I need to think a little bit about. I need to think about that. I think there may be just this very narrow window in which I might be able to pick this up. But I believe we've already taken care of all the continent locations, so we're going through Orthos Wood, and I believe I specifically held out Key Hunter's Garret and Fermier Abbey. I believe the Vanderschaft collection was the last one in the series. I numbered them, unfortunately, on my spreadsheet, so that doesn't help. But actually, hang on. Magus von Brandt would have come from the last one, so no. Irreproachable Traditions of the Society of Noble Endeavor. Do we have that? Okay. Sorry, let me just take a quick second here. So Book of True Blood was the one that I had in position 1, or High Mysteries of the Innermost. Okay. And then Morphe Codex. I could have sworn we had the Morphe Codex in Aramaic. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Continent 2 against Sisterhood of the Knot, Deoris, Tantra of Worms. Okay. Aramaic is in 2 and 4, so that doesn't help me too much. Thirsting Tantra. Wow, apparently I don't have a lot of these. So we do have the Geminiad, so we've definitely done Continent 4. Deeds of the Scarred Captain. Okay, so we've done 4 and 5. Okay, so I count 6. Okay, so I count 6 continent locations. I'm sorry, this is such a waste of time. I should have done this ahead of time, but I'm intrigued now. Okay, so what I've got listed for Continent 1, Book of the True Blood, High Mysteries, Church, Morphe Codex. Okay, so three of those. And I could even see, like, if I move these around a little bit. But yeah, okay. I could have sworn we got some of the Tantras. Oh, well, there's the Morphe Codex. Oh, hang on, right, because the Morphe Codex... Right. Because the Morphe Codex is related to the Sisterhood of the Knot. That's why I put it where I put it. Okay. So that one was in Continent 1. So High Mysteries and Book of True Blood, where are those? Okay. Oh, right here. I made a new shelf. Right. Okay. Now, Deoris 2 and Against the Sisterhood of the Knot. That's in position 2. and I would have assumed that the another Sisterhood of the Knot text would have wound up there. So I think it's fair to say we've not gone into number 2 yet. Also Tantra of Worms, which, you know, we don't see here. Okay, so that's accounted for. In the Mountains as Upon the Plain. I feel like that's one that we should have, but come to think of it, I don't think we have any VAT texts. Okay, so 2 and 3 for sure. We said that we've done 4 and 5. And then 6. So that would be 3 locations that we haven't... 3 locations we haven't picked up yet. 3 here. So I think it is fair to say that we have not... I think it's fair to say that we have all of the continent locations that I was looking for. And if not, I mean, what I'll do is I'll just maybe double check the texts that I've collected to make sure that I'm not missing any of them. So clearly we're already on our way through Orthos Wood, where we've got all of the moth. I've got all of the moth that we need. Maybe I'll add some more money to it. But other than that, we are in good shape. I've got a sickness coming up, but I've got sources of vitality coming out my ears. So we'll wait the minute, and then we'll move on. We have a bunch of notoriety on the table, and I think we were sending Leo to clear those out. We were subverting the edge into Nock because I think we've more or less accepted that we're not going to wind up with I don't think we're going to wind up with an alternative that'll leave me happy. Again, there is the chance on the Geminiad, but I don't really want to I don't want to wait on that. So this is going to be so that we can pass higher into the Mansus, and then we're doing our job just so we can keep food on the table. Okay, so 7 minutes. I wanted to go crashing in, but 7 minutes to figure out what was going on. My apologies. All right, the illness has damaged my health. I'll need to rest before I am fully recovered. We need to make sure we don't get any dread, so that's going to be one to worry about for the job. Optimism is the spice which saves, so we're just going to keep spamming Leo for that. And the wood beneath the Mansus is darker even than this place. The moth will guide our footfalls. Success is very likely. And the course of the heart. My own heart pumps more strongly today. So as far as just sort of an overall kind of a rotation that we're working on in terms of our abilities. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship, provide erudition, or use a library. Now, we don't have erudition right now, but we have the bookstore, so that'll help us. But yeah, the plan now is, because study's not really going to be used for anything else, the deepening silence. We've lost the path. The forest towers against the dusk sky. Beasts of the forest are silent, but now and then we see their eyes. The sun still moves, the wind still walks. My journals are the labyrinth clues, so we will deal with vitality right away. All I need now is time and progress. The constant clatter of closing doors, the damp stains on the station walls, the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I have made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the job slot open for a bit. What was I going to say? So in terms of just an overall rotation, because I've sort of changed my strategy in terms of how I'm working with books, I'm going to make it so that we use our study verb to move up as much lore as we can possibly get. And that means that at some point we're going to need to feed that furnace, which means more trips to the Mansus, even if we just wind up getting sort of like lower level secret histories. It's the sort of thing that there's nothing else for us to do with the study slot at this point. So I don't necessarily mind taking the bird in the hand when it comes to going through the Stag door. Now, this is also the reason why we took the skills that we did, but that's another matter. Yeah, let's just keep with that. Okay, Season of Ardors, so that's going to give us a contentment. If we do wind up with a dread for whatever reason, we'll be able to clear it with the contentment that emerges. I do want to keep a careful eye on the inspector's position, but... Aha! There it is. Is that it? Oh, expedition member has fallen. That was Yzabet. That's a shame. So, as a precaution, let's add Sylvia. So we've got 24 seconds before that gets dealt with. This has been a bit of an education in terms of using followers, but it definitely feels very risky, just because of the, the fact that I can't really get any ready replacements. I think there's a couple things I can do for replacements, but I don't know if they're as good. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. Risk your health or use a prisoner. So in this case, I am gonna go for the health. Optimism is the spice which saves. So let's, not Valsine. Let's heal up. Yzabet, compassion or convenience. Complete the healing of a follower. Perhaps now they'll survive, but there are limits to what the human body can sustain. Sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. Okay, and we call upon the moth who seeks among the trees of the wood. The wood beneath the mantis is darker even than this place. The moth will guide our footfalls. Success is very likely. I'll add some more money while we're at it. And yeah, I'll still go through the white door. We're almost there for going through, solving the stag door's riddle, but I figure I should probably... Okay, Season of Ambition's coming up, so I want to leave this as late as I possibly can. So the wolf despair prowls elsewhere, no dread empowers this despair, it's over for now. Some days are better than others, sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet, sometimes the river runs clear. I want to do this to make sure that the troublemaker is occupied while the Season of Ambitions comes up. A light through the trees. There's something up ahead. We've made it through the forest. One. Take. Investigating a target. The more reason I use, the better my chance of success. Now I can approach the white door through the bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity. Around and about me is the cobalt light of the mantis. The damage. Pain is a teacher, they say, especially if they aren't in pain. Health has been injured, so I can accept injury as long as it's something that I can heal. If it's something more permanent, that becomes a bit more nerve-wracking. Beginning of an ending. The wound is healed, but this one came very close to death. Silence has touched them like snow. So they actually have 2 winter wounds now, so they're a bit like Porter in the sense that we're worried we may lose them. So that means I wind up using Sylvia a bit more often. Okay, let's get Leo back on our reputation. I have not actually used the new way of recruiting new followers, so this will be interesting. Last night I visited the Lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them anymore, any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you've come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Carisham days. You're welcome to it, only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Oh, actually, I seem to remember that I was using my, I seem to remember I was using the spare time to make, big scary paintings. So we can do an edge, and we can do a... Sorry, edge, knock, and forge painting. Sadly, I can't make the Secret Histories painting, the most important of the paintings, but... Okay, so we would expect the, sealed bureau file to get picked up. There we go. What hungers drive me? I cannot forget what I saw in the file on Ivan Vucetic. I am disciplined. I am all discipline. I haven't lasted this long to give up so easily. Against the Watchers, a powerful deception. Look closer. Closer still. Closer. Keep looking. Closer. Now close your eyes. Okay. We've locked down the temptation. My investigation's turned up no new leads. So let's get that other masterpiece in. I don't think any of these other ones are going to give me some... I don't think any of these other ones are going to give me trouble, but let's do a picture of Eldridge. I figured Edge is going to be the most troublesome of the remaining paintings. So. All shall be opened. When we open a thing, when we learn its when we open a thing, then we learn its nature. I've deepened my understanding of the lore that opens, which we call by its aspect, knock. So here we have a consent of wounds. To open certain ways, one must first open oneself. This practice outlines that opening, in the name of the Mother of Ants. So, I want to go right ahead and level up whatever lore we have available. So, study the histories. History is less certain than we are taught. I can learn from the study of its blurred edges. The story of a city without a gate, of a queen who was not born, of a war which was not fought. Colors of the night. I could spend money on better paints, or perhaps I could find more exotic pigments. Okay, that's not great. Oof. So all I need now is time. All that I have is here. The Watcher's confusion. Their bewilderment is our opportunity. We will pass in silent secrecy. A worthy medium. Spring contends always with winter. This temptation is past for now. And no one understands us, or else they understand us too well. So this is a pretty easy one for us to follow up on. We know we're going to have multiple... we're going to have more than one notoriety popping up. One from the expedition and one from the painting, so... Made something extraordinary, something unique, something extraordinary, something I will never dare exhibit publicly. Alright, so, contentment's nice, but what we actually really want is dread right now. Rousing air, we've got the Colonel and the Lionsmith, since Issus they have striven so. We have a bunch of glimmering, which will be good for leveling up the lore. It actually occurred to me that I didn't refresh the lore, so this could have been a short run on the histories. But we're good. So investigating a target, the more reason I use, the better my chance of success. And really, we're just waiting for the expedition to finish here. Once we finish healing, I'm going to complete the Stag Doors riddle, and then we will... Wait a minute. Yeah, what must open before the way opens? This is the great oak where the masked crow once roosted. Lightning has split it from head to heart, and the tree is charred and rotting. It squirms with finger-length worms. Something glints dully in the swarm of dead roots. Alright, the sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. So we're going to have to deal with another drain on our... Actually, that's multiple restlessness runs, so that's one for me to keep in mind. Gearby's riddle. In my dream, I will stand again before the Stag Door, a ridge barrier of blood-streaked horn broken long ago, and not yet quite healed. That vast and golden head, Gearby, will await the answer to my riddle. A serpent's answer. I myself must be opened. Behold my blood which is shed. Okay, so we need the library in place of the erudition. Yeah, I think we just run with Key Hunter's Garret when the time comes. What hungers drive me? Not quite sure what I'm going to do about the dread. I think we just probably will spam the investigations, to be completely honest. And the memory of crows. A root coils around an egg of lead the size of a child. Perhaps it was plated with another metal once, but the weather has removed all trace of any coating. After a struggle, the halves of the egg come apart to reveal its contents. So here we've got the Whispering Amulet. It knows what I desire, or I imagine that it does. In the mountains is upon the plain. In the mountains is upon the plain. There may not be a path where none has passed. A work by Naingala of Lagash. So I'm going to take a quick second here and see where that was. Okay, so that's Continent 3, and that's probably the only book. Yeah. Lethe. A dark and syrupy liquor favored in unnamed forest villages. The tongue and the eye, and now we begin. Forget your name, forget your skin. I think we've just been piling all this stuff up, so... A dappled mask. In the forest where the moon couldn't go, the boughs of the trees were woven together like bandages or lovers. The moon might change herself to an ant, or to a bird, or to her sister, but the forest would not yield to her penetrations, no matter her caresses. One day we came with our scissors, and we severed the branches until the moon and the blood dappled the rotting leaves on the forest floor. Okay. I'm probably going to just keep bringing the experienced swindler on moth expeditions at this point. So, on to Key Hunter's Garret. Vienna is one of those few cities which has had the same name in every history, although adepts know it as the White City, or perhaps the City of the White. In a snowy street, in a crooked house, in a high and rattling attic, we have learnt that an eccentric hunter of imaginary keys has established a tiny trove of odd books. Once in Vienna, we hear that the key hunter has not been seen for many days. A local drunk insists that a great serpent entered the house to devour them. Certainly, the house is unlit and boarded up, and there is a reptile house smell. So, this is clearly one for the knock team. Actually, maybe with that in mind, we go to Fermier Abbey, because that's going to be the more difficult of the... Well, you know what? I think I could use something easy while the fascination is up, so we will go for something a little simpler. Yeah, sorry, I just need to switch back to the broadcast screen. Okay. I'm disciplined. I am all discipline. I haven't lasted this long to give up so easily. Investigations turned up no new leads. So, normally I would go for another inspection right away. But in this case, I think I do want to finish my painting. So we will go for our forge painting this time. So, something to remember them by, perhaps. Maybe consequences for that, actually. I wonder if another restlessness pops up. Okay, intuition. And bitter black salts. Alright, optimism is the spice which saves. So another run with Leo. Only one notoriety now, although we'll add to that pretty soon, I'm sure. Ah yes, I should also be worried about the door. Maybe we do that before the money. Lantern or knock. Okay, cool. So the worry, of course, would be that the troublemaker plunders Fermier Abbey. In which case, I mean, we'd probably just go to the unnumbered stones for that, but anytime we give up Forgotten Chronicles, that'll be time that we, you know, we have to spend restoring them through study. So, not my favorite activity. And Season of Suspicion coming up. I don't think there's a way we can avoid. I don't think we can avoid what's coming, but we'll see. Entering the Stag Door. The Stag Door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. The head Gearby weeps to see me enter where it cannot, but it must let me pass. The scarred valves of the door grind open. All that I am is here. We call upon the mother of ants which ariseth from wounds. The serpent's mouth is large enough to crouch in, its tongue is the thickness of a man's shoulders, but almost certainly it will respect the power we bear. Alright, my own heart pumps more strongly today, and the temptation is past for now. So, cost us some reason, but we're not using reason right now. Dark grains properly treated yield fiery colors. Okay, so I mean, I can do what I said I was going to do and claim the Forgotten Chronicle. I think I am going to do that in this case because I know the Painted River potentially gives us fascination. Alright, last night Gearby was talkative. He spoke in his siege engine voice of the histories he'd overheard in the waking world. I listened until his stories tailed off again into weeping. So, another Forgotten Chronicle. Again, that doesn't help us because we've already cleared out the continent, but it is fuel for leveling up some secret histories. Something went flying up. At some point I want to try and level up my Knock followers as well, but that's something for another time. So I'm going to try something here with the Stag Door. I don't think I have enough lore to be able to move up further than the Stag Door, but it would be interesting to see. So in my in my dreams, I know the path to the Stag Door through the maze of the bounds. Gearby will let me pass, but the path is always a puzzle. I will need reason. So if we bring the Consent of Wounds, Silken Sands, not enough. In my dreams, the Silken Sands are the place that whispers. Grey grains sift, grey weeds quiver. I know of the words that open the wind. So in this case, we would need a higher level knock lore, which is very unlikely for us to get at this point. So it would be fair to say at this point, we should expect that we're going to be able to get maximum forbidden epics in terms of lore, and everything above that we're going to need to study, which is why it's helpful to have all of this surplus secret histories, because over time we're going to be studying those up to higher level ones, and at that point we're going to be able to, we'll be able to get to the higher levels. This is why I'm not as scared of getting Forgotten Chronicles, incidentally, because in the end the study verb is going to be sitting idle without the lesser lore. So it gives me something to do. The thing I need to be worried about is if I exhaust the Forbidden Epics in terms of locations and I don't have anything else in terms of replacements. That's the bigger worry for me at the moment. Okay, so we don't need to worry about passion too much. Forge of Days. If the Forge could regret, it would regret the intercalate, but in all its other work, it knows joy. So we will do the knock work when we can, but that's something we'll take care of after we deal with the Troublemaker. And I don't see a situation where we avoid the dread, so I think probably we'll have to send our experienced swindler off to Blinking of the Light. Now I understand. We'll probably have to send the swindler off to deal with the evidence. It lowers its great head. Moisture seeps from its lidless eyes. Is it weeping? What does it remember of its eldest sister, whose power we call upon? An adversary is asking searching questions about my activities. Alright, we've increased our knowledge of the secret histories behind the one we know. Forbidden Epic. The attention of the hours is drawn to the bloodiest wars. Afterwards, the histories are braided like hair. Exploring with this scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations in the land beyond the forest across the continent. Okay, so still need to wind up with a dread somehow. But before we go any further, let's just keep working with the Forgotten Chronicles. We'll level them up as much as we can, and then eventually we'll start checking out the Forbidden Epics. Earnest speech is affable conversation. Optimism is the spice which saves. Not a whole lot for us to do until the expedition is done, so I'm going to leave the talk verb open for now. And I know we're close to... We're actually basically at the end, but I figure we've got just a little while longer to go with the expedition. Now again, it does pain me that I'm not going to be going to the Painted River, but I'm going to do the Ascent of Knives here just because I don't believe I've ever gotten a fascination off of that, and I don't remember this well enough. There may be a secret histories waiting for me here, but okay, that was the right call. So, urgency and appetite. It is difficult to control oneself. The Ascent of Knives is called the Sharp Stair, and the Mother of Mirrors, and the Feast of the Grail. If one is to look beneath the stair, as I did last night in my dreams, one understands that last name. It draws a tithe of blood from the feet of those who ascend. In Pausai, some shaped like men, many shaped like women, wait beneath the glass of the stairs to satisfy their hunger. I did not approach. I made no sound. I only observed. Okay, and this is going to be how we spend our dreams for the majority of the run at this point. Particularly while I try and figure out the patterns for the mantis. It is kind of nice that they show you what's behind the cards again, but I'm not going to lie, I don't remember the patterns at all. Okay, so oh crumbs. This will do. I guess I don't need the money really, but... Into the night, wisdom is a country, and these are its maps. We've got 100 seconds to keep doing lore challenges with, so I think in this case we'll have to start reading poetry again. Okay, colors of the night. We're going to get 6, so normally in the study verb I would be using my my health, but we have other things to do at this point. And I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. So we send Leo out to... oh, hang on, we'll be getting some glimmering from the special painting. Away through the hidden door, faint lines in stone, a surface that yields to pressure. We found it. The hidden door moves with a grating shudder and a shower of dust. Sooner or later, this canvas will be slashed, but its color will only grow richer. Okay, it seems silly that I'm doing this, but I do actually want to level up my Nock followers. In sleep, I ran my fingers along the ridged edges of the stag door's scars. Our company it was that shattered it, Gearby says suddenly, before the gods who were flesh. Before the gods who were flesh, the mantis was forbidden to mortals. We were the first no. He begins again to weep his molten tears. I wish that we had not. I wish that I had died in the world. I have forgotten what else he said, but I remember the shape of the fissures in the stag door, and for all of today, doors will fear my touch. So that's 10 Nock. That's definitely not something to be trifled with, although again, it depends how long the expedition takes as to whether or not it'll be useful. Okay. And subtle fracture as well. So we've got the Mother of Ants. Even in the days of Elam, she began to appear thus. So we have all our paintings. I guess this means is if we run into any curses, you know, the only thing we'll use passion for really is just begging for our job if it comes to it. Investigating a target, the more reason I use, the better my chance of success. And once we finish the expedition, we'll say the video is done for today. I do actually need to be kind of careful in terms of the time it takes me to record these, but I figured it's kind of natural to just finish at the end of an expedition. It also gives me a chance to catch up with my spreadsheet so that Wednesday's episode doesn't take too much in terms of just kind of figuring out where I am. Now, the Season of Despair coming up is a concern. We almost didn't have the intuition. Ashes above. The room stinks of serpent musk and burnt paper. Someone has comprehensively destroyed all the records they could find. They've even scrubbed the walls clean. Cold ashes choke the fireplace. No trace... So it's probably even more likely that there's the secret histories on the Painted River, but again, I can't risk the... Actually, I can, because the fleeting reminiscence from Dread will come up. Oh well. The stag door opens. The Painted River runs from a great chamber near the White Door, far through the Mansus, to its far edge where it enters a painted delta of far cloud. I voyaged half its length last night with a stern-faced captain beneath a rust-red sail. As the clouds rose before us, the sailors raised a yearning shanty and close-hauled the sails to best use the painted wind, and all the while the captain and I discoursed on the secrets of the House of the Sun. Oops. But yeah, sorry, no trace of the poor soul who rented this place remains. Yeah, the one thing... what was I going to say? Anyways, if I can, I'd prefer not to spend all of Wednesday's episode sorting out where I am in terms of the expeditions, although I think I've more or less sorted that out today. Okay, so I'm going to hold off on the investigation of the inspector's position. We probably aren't going to need the Dread, if I'm completely honest. Yeah, I want to at least wait until the Season of Despair shows up on the odd chance that completing the... Actually, no, hang on. So if it takes... Yeah, no, we can wait with the inspector's position. There's no advantage to doing it early. What am I doing? There it is. Is that it? Here we go. So this is what I was hoping for. Ashes above. A single corner of the fire-curled paper has survived the flames. In a shaky hand, it reads Lady K, Green Chalcedony, 3-lobed, spring leaves in but unexpectedly, in a suitcase beside the flames, a little trove of books survives. Whoever destroyed the Key Hunter's journals saw no need to burn these books. So one of the duplicates on my list... Now this isn't too helpful on its own. The Cipher Journal of Alessandro Lacrosse. Prince Alessandro Lacrosse spent years in secret study of the tablets taken from the Fucine marshes in central Italy. His work will allow you to read Fucine text, but he's written it in a simple Latin cipher. You'll need to decipher it first. So we don't have the Cipher Journal. We have the regular journal. So in that case, this is the sort of thing that doesn't, like, the Cipher Journal and just the journal are two separate entities in this game. I don't think the uniqueness is going to affect it, but what I am going to do, I'll just wait I'll wait until the study is done before we clear out the expedition and such. There's no real benefit or penalty for me, wait. I guess I get stuff done a little bit later, but whatever. That it is what it is. Actually, you know what? It's taken 10 minutes, so maybe we'll just wrap it here. I'll go wrap it up here. I'll go through all of these books in the next episode. But yeah, this is the thing I was hoping for. So, in theory, if there were other duplicated books like this, what I would want to do is see... I don't know if there's a difference in getting the Latin or not necessarily Latin, but in getting the translated or untranslated version first, as far as the collection is concerned. But in this case here, what I would do is I would go through my list and sort of just figure out an ideal order in which to claim these things. I think this is the last case of me getting a duplicate, though. So essentially what we do is we read the normal one, we translate and read the Geminiad, and that should be the last bit of lore that I get. But all of that we'll handle in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. As always, on Tuesday there won't be an episode, but they will be coming back on Wednesday. And then I am hoping to record some Book of Hours stuff between now and the 9th. And so, we'll have... I'll try and fold those in with the rest of the videos and that. But that's all stuff we'll deal with in the future. Take care.